Ooh, you said you were going to the gym. Tell us a little bit about that.
I went to the gym again this morning. Okay, so I was going to the gym. Was it like in December? And then
Yes.
holidays happened, and then I was like, whatever. I stopped going.
Yep.
And
I feel like
then
a lot of people stop going during the holidays.
Yeah.
'cause it's just like,
yeah,
it's a lot happening.
yeah. Because I was walking to the gym, so I was
Oh,
really into my
yeah.
routine of walking.
Yes.
And then I kind of stopped walking because it got really cold and like gloomy, and I was just not into it. But now that it's been a little bit warmer here in Texas, I've been walking more. And so that reminded me of like, oh yeah, I need to go to the gym. So
you went.
yeah, I redid my gym membership. They were having like a sale for like $1. I was like, okay.
Wow.
So yeah, I went to the gym this morning. Did a
$1
little.
for like the whole year?
No, just for like instead of like all the fees up front, it was just
Uh-huh.
like $1.
Oh, okay.
So
Is it where are you
Planet
going?
Fitness, yeah.
Planet Fitness, okay.
There's one like 2 streets away from my house, so
Okay.
yeah,
What'd you do?
I did a little upper body workout.
Ooh, wait, today?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I know. I walked
You're
there,
amazing.
did my workout, and walked back. I still am like, I thought I was gonna be more confident because the first time I went to the gym, I was like so scared of everything, and
Yeah. It is scary.
just like getting used to like where they keep things, like
Yeah.
what's like socially acceptable. I just feel like there's a lot of like unspoken rules in the
Yeah.
gym that you have to like figure out.
Yep.
And so in December when I was going, I was like getting pretty confident. And so I thought today I'd be confident. No, it was like back to square one. I was like, oh, I'm so
It's
scared.
okay. That
Like
happens. I feel like that just happens.
especially like because I'm not knowledgeable a lot about like lifting weights. So I really feel like I'm a baby again.
Yeah.
Because like I've done Pilates and stuff, but I haven't like lifted weights since like
Yeah.
college.
One like a gym like that, you just do it all alone. So there's no
Right.
one like coaching you through it. You're just kind of like trying to figure it out yourself.
Yeah.
But the more you go, the more confident you'll get. So.
Yeah. So I was proud of myself this
Yeah,
morning.
no, that's amazing. Yeah. I need to go to the gym as well. I just need to work out, I think, in
We have
general.
so much going on
But
right now.
yes, I was gonna say right now I am in the process of moving, so it has been a lot. But I think hopefully once I move and settle in, I think I want to like sign up for a gym membership, either a gym like that, or I was thinking we've been talking about Orange Theory a lot. I really think I need to start that back up again because when I was going to Orange Theory, guys, I was killing it. Like I really was like in business and health and fitness. Like I was really just like my best self when I was going to Orange Theory. I was like now these days I can't even wake up before like 8 or 9. So and when I was going to Orange Theory, I was waking up at like 4:30, getting there for their 5 o'clock class and having an entire work day. Yeah. I
The
know.
5 o'clock class?
5 o'clock. Yeah.
Wow.
And the only way I was able to do that, I wasn't just like one day like waking up at 5. I was like going to the ones at 7 and for like 2 weeks, and then after those 2 weeks I like went to the one at 6, and then after those 2 weeks I went to the one at 5, and so it was like slowly, but it worked really well.
You know,
and I had so much energy.
Yeah. And you know who like has been inspiring me? JC Marie. Have you been seeing her
Yes.
TikToks?
Oh, I love JC. You know I love JC. I
Well,
love JC.
I love her TikToks right now where she's trying to wake up early and go to the gym. And I'm like, if she can do it, I can do it.
Yes.
Because she's used to waking up at like 9.
Yes.
Or 8 or 9.
And
I'm like, how does her kid sleep in that long? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, she probably maybe has help with that. Like maybe I don't know,
maybe.
but she probably does something because I agree. Like she does everything and has a kid.
Yeah.
Which is like amazing.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I feel that spirit. And like, I wanted to like embody what she was saying in those TikToks.
Yes.
So I was like, okay. I just on a whim last night signed up again and I went today. Normally when I sign up for a gym membership, I'm like, okay, next week on Monday I'll start. But today I was like, you know what?
Why not now?
Why not today?
Yeah, why not? No, that's so, oh my gosh. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of inspiration from like TikTok too, where people are just like, just start. Why are you like waiting for anything? Like no one's going to come save you. Yeah, no one's going to come save you. Yeah, Have you also seen like the Chinese era that people
Yes.
are in? Like they're in a very Chinese time of their life right now. It's
Yes.
so true. It's so funny how that's like becoming a thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, happy new year to those who celebrate the lunar new year. It is the
Mhm.
year of the horse, and that happened on, when was it? The 17th, February 17th was
Yeah.
like the lunar new year, which is awesome. So look into it if you haven't. I'm excited for the year of the horse. It's
Me
time.
too.
A lot of changes, a lot of releasing. Yeah. And just being like, just kind of like being like so done with excuses
Yeah.
and just like not showing up or like not building the business. And I know this has also been like a trend on my TikTok where it's like you just have to have the audacity. Like, luck isn't just going to come to you without doing anything. Like, you kind of have to work for the luck.
Yeah.
And that's been like a big thing too that I've been thinking a lot about is like, you have to be audacious. Like, there are people like building photography business all over, but the ones who make it are the ones that are like, yeah, I'm just gonna do it. Like, I'm just gonna try to do it, regardless of what anybody thinks, regardless of my talent, regardless of what cameras I use. They just like go for it, and they're the ones that like usually are successful because they're not like doubting themselves.
Mhm.
And yeah, so that's just been like a really big theme too in my life right now too, where it's just like, yeah, why not be audacious? Like, what's the alternative to not like
Yeah.
to just not do anything with my life or like not make my dreams come true? Like,
Just waste time.
yeah, waste time. Like, I'd rather fail than not try at all.
Yeah. Because when you fail, then you know more data and you're like, okay, now I
Yeah,
can pivot.
pivot or do something else, or yeah, so I don't know. I've just been thinking a lot about that. And I don't know, I think last week in your notes you had something like a Substack or something about being lucky. Do you remember
No,
that?
it was a TikTok that you had reposted about the
Oh.
visibility. She was talking
Oh,
about visibility, but it kind of goes with the luck aspect of it's
okay.
like luck really is just being in the right moment in the right time. Like when the opportunity comes, you're ready for it
Yes.
because the same opportunity could come to you, but if you're not ready for it, then you're not lucky.
Yes,
So it's
yes.
really, but the TikTok, she was talking about being visible and like auditing your life and seeing like where are you showing up and where could you show up more. And I really resonated with that because I was like, this is the year of visibility. And like, she was saying that her luck comes from being visible.
Yes. Yes. And we have been talking about like connecting more with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a way of visibility. It's not just like showing up on Instagram or
Right.
TikTok. It's more about like go out into the world and like meet people.
Yes.
And RuPaul once said, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
I love it.
And it's so true. I mean, like, if you're just ready for whatever's coming, like, you don't have to get ready. Like, you already are doing the thing. So I've
Mm-hmm.
always resonated with that, and it's so true. Yeah. That's the vibes of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Just like connecting more, being lucky, being audacious. I love it.
Being visible.
Being visible, that's a big one. Yeah, that's a really, really big one. And I've been loving the vibes. I've been loving it. It's been good. Like, that's all I've been getting on social media, and I'm like, I like this trend. Like, please give me more of the uplifting stuff.
Yes.
Because it could be
Yeah.
so hard to like just be in the whole of like the depressing world news and
Mm-hmm.
everything. But I'm like, it's okay. We can get through this together. My dog wants
Yes,
pets.
Layla.
She's like, "Hello, anybody?"
She's like, I'm trying to
Y'all
be
are right here.
visible.
Yeah, y'all are right here. I don't know what
Do
these
you
bright
see
lights are.
me?
Oh my gosh. But is there anything else? You went to the gym
There's something
and
else I want to talk about before we talk about.
yeah, websites.
Oh, okay. Last week I talked about one of my goals for February was booking 3
Families.
family sessions,
Yes.
right? I wanted to talk about a networking story that is just, if I were to hear this, I would think it was really inspirational. So
Oh,
I want to
okay.
share it.
Yes, I love it.
So this goes along with the theme of like, you never know who you're going to meet, what impression you're going to leave.
Ooh, okay. I'm already
So
like, okay.
yes. So a
Tell me
long
more.
time ago, I want to say this was like in the beginning of 2022.
Okay.
Okay. Long time ago. I went to a stout shoot.
Okay.
Okay. And I met a bunch of people there. I only knew one person. And then I kind of didn't really like try hard during that era to like
Like meet people?
like make like lasting relationships with those people. I was just
Yeah.
like, let me pay for the styled shoot. I'll get some cool photos, whatever.
Yeah.
But I met someone during there,
Okay.
and I guess she like liked me because ever since then, she has sent me work over and over and over again. Okay. So it ended up being this girl named Brooke. Brooke, if you're listening, I love you, girl. She lived in my building at the time.
Okay.
And she was also a family photographer.
Oh, wow. Okay, amazing.
And so we kind of like would bond a little bit on social media about family photography.
Okay.
And then fast forward like 2 years, she gets approached to do her very first wedding, and she asks if I would second shoot for her.
Oh, okay.
And so I second shot for her, and she kind of like paid me way more than she should have, but she wanted me to like kind of help like lead the day, like be a
Yeah.
lead shooter, just because she was nervous. She ended up doing like rocking it, and she didn't really need me that help. But long story short, so I had that little connection of her. Okay, well, she moved to New York like last week.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
And so she no longer is doing business in Dallas.
Okay.
She is sending all of her family clients to me.
Wow.
So it's like that one little connection, like in 2022,
Yeah.
like 4 years later, is booking me all this work.
Incredible.
And so it's like you really never know.
You really don't.
What connections are gonna, like what opportunities are gonna come.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have been able to, like, that connection wouldn't have happened if you didn't go to that styled shoot.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if I wasn't like a good, like friendly person and was, like she could have been like, Miranda sucks. I'm never sending her work.
Yeah. Yes.
But instead, you show up with intention and like just be yourself. But
yeah.
anyways, I just thought that was crazy because I was like, wow, she literally is like moved to New York, and now all of her family clients don't have a photographer, so she's sending them to me.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
that's so nice.
She could be sending them to anyone.
Yeah, that's so
It's
nice.
so nice.
Like, even if she has a list of people that she's like sending to like those clients, like that's still really cool to be like on that list.
Yeah.
Wow. That is really inspiring actually, because it really is like, just go out and meet people. Like, why are we so like nervous and anxious about that? It's really not that bad. Like, if you think about it, like it honestly, like you never really regret it.
Also, it's a good lesson in like being open to where your abundance is going to come from, because I could have been like, okay, this is my goal to book 3 family sessions, and I thought I had to do it
a certain way
only by posting on Instagram.
Yep.
Okay, well then if that was like the only case, then hello, we're wasting time.
Yes.
But being open to like receiving things from different places.
Yeah.
You never know.
Well, yeah, you never know where it's going to come from.
Yeah.
Which is really, really cool. And oh my gosh, what was I going to say? Oh, did you reach your goal yet?
I have a 2 out of 3.
Okay, so you're almost there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, within a week, like, you booked another one.
Yeah.
And you're not really, I don't feel like you're trying that hard.
No, I'm
like,
not.
So it's nice that it's just, like, coming slowly, too, because it's like, yeah, it's not going to happen within a day. Like, just because you post one thing on Instagram, it's not going to work that way. Like, there's marketing strategies for a reason, and like these things take time. And so yeah, I'm glad that that's working out. And yeah, it's not like you're like wanting just to book from Instagram. You're just kind of like, wherever it comes from, like I don't care where it comes from, but as long as it's aligned, like it'll come to me.
Right.
Which yeah, is abundance in itself. So yeah, I love it. That is a good story, honestly, because that's such a long time ago.
Yeah, like it's crazy to like reap benefits of something that you put energy into like 4 years later.
Yeah. Well, and it also helps that you've been like active on Instagram and that you have like a family account too. So that way she can send her clients to you and feel like good about it. Cause it's like, oh, she knows you from Instagram. She knows you from that styled shoot. You're active in posting. And
also I have a website, like
yes,
these even though she's sending them to me, like they're still filling out my inquiry form on my website. So I know they're like going to my website.
Yes. So which is good.
It's like all of these steps were in place.
Yes.
So I'm not
you
lucky.
Were ready.
I'm just ready.
You were ready. No. Oh my gosh, Miranda. We're good. Like, that's so true. It, like, all connects. It
It
really
really
does.
does.
It really does. Oh my gosh, no, that's amazing. Well, speaking of websites, should we get into it? Yeah, let's get right
Yeah.
into it. I really don't have any updates, honestly. I've just been moving.
You've just been going
Yeah,
through it.
I've just been going through it, but it's fine. I love it.
Yeah.
It's good energy. I like that we're moving. Like I feel
You're
like I need
literally
like an
shedding your house and getting
yeah,
into
I
a
feel
new
like I
house.
need a new space
Yeah.
and like I've been loving like going on Pinterest and like looking on the decorations and all of that stuff. So, yeah, I've been excited just to curate like a cute little house and like
Yes.
just different vibes and whatever. And yeah, I feel like that's my whole like year or two. It's been like curating, like very like curating everything to make it like perfect, which it's never going to be perfect, but that's why we're called Perfectly Unposed, because it's
Right.
like, it's never gonna be perfect, and it's never gonna be just unposed. It's like a good mix of
It's yeah.
everything, but okay, well, let's get into it. Okay, wait, so the first thing that needs to come across your desk today is this. Dubsado is having their birthday sale, and it's the biggest deal they offer all year. We talk about Dubsado all the time over here. I use it every single day. It literally runs my entire photography business. And from February 23rd through February 27th, new users can get 40% off their first year when they choose an annual plan. But here's where it actually gets insane. You can stack that with our affiliate code for an additional 30% off if you've never used an affiliate code before, which means this is the cheapest you will ever get Dubsado ever. Before Dubsado, I was living in my inbox, manually following up with inquiries, sending contracts separately, forgetting invoices. It was giving stressed intern. Now, inquiries get automated responses, proposals can send contracts and invoices together, workflows follow up for me. It is a one stop shop for running a real business. Plus, they're doing giveaways, subscription credits, free years, and even a golden ticket for 10 free years. 10 years. If you're still running your business through Gmail and 10 different apps, this is your moment. Use code Kimberly30, go to the link in our show notes, grab the birthday sale before February 27th, and welcome to your CEO era. Okay, I guess we can just kind of start off with just like we were talking about last week, like refreshing our website. So let's just kind of like start off with like the website refresh.
Mhm.
And yeah, let's just start off with that. I know that a lot of people think that a website is just like portfolio, but it's really just not just a portfolio, but it's also like a conversion tool to get people to be like, "Oh, I need to inquire now." Because like when they reach your Instagram, they're kind of just like, "Oh, like a little curious." So like, "Okay, we like the work, but we're not there yet." And so the more and more you post about who your ideal client is, then they're going to go onto your website and that's where you're going to try to like convert the client to like inquire with you and like basically fall in love with you. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong is that they treat their website like a scrapbook or like an archive or proof that they've worked like a wedding or proof that they've worked like a senior session or whatever it is. But it's like not about proving that you've done these things. It's about making someone feel safe enough to inquire. And your website basically has one job. It moves someone from I like their work to I want to work with them.
Mhm.
And that's kind of like the goal of a website. Like Instagram is for attention, and your website is like that decision making factor. If inquiries feel slow, I wouldn't like blame social media like right away. I would maybe look at what comes after they click the link in your bio and see like
Mhm.
what is going on here? Am I giving the right vibe? Like do they know exactly what I do? Things like that. So, let's get into what you actually need for a website refresh. I think that's like one of my biggest downfalls is like not like showing the work that is like super aligned with me right now. And I still have work that's like kind of like just old work that kind of just doesn't need to be
Yeah.
there. Where I'm like, okay, this does not need to be there. This doesn't even align with me anymore. How can I like curate this to look more like the clients I want to book? And
Well, sometimes I think people think that they have to showcase every wedding on their website.
that's so true. Yeah, and I've learned, like, you can just curate, like, you don't have to put an entire gallery on your website. You don't have to put, like, 400 photos, like, curate it to make it like the you want to make the biggest impact, and if you have 400 photos that you're looking like that someone's looking at, like you're not really making any impact there. You're just kind of
Mhm.
like, oh, these are cool photos, but like,
Yeah.
it's not curated to what you want your image to be, like your branding and everything. And also when you do a website refresh, this could be like when you're raising your prices, when you've niched down, and when you changed markets too, is like
Mhm.
when you really should be refreshing your website. Because I see a lot of photographers like their header image. I feel like that's a really big thing. It's like the header image doesn't really match what they're wanting to do. So it's like they'll have like a mountain and like a couple in the mountains, but then they live in like, I don't know, like New Mexico, where it's like not like Utah mountains, it's like New Mexico mountains. So there's like a disconnect where you're like trying to book these New Mexico weddings, but it's like it looks nothing like New Mexico. And I think that's where a lot of people get that wrong, where it's like your header image should be like exactly what your work
Mhm.
screams, if that makes sense.
It's
Like
not
you can do a header image like a Utah one, but like only if you're wanting to book more of that. And if
yeah.
you're not wanting to book more of that, just because it's a pretty image doesn't mean you're gonna get booked.
I think when people think of, like, their header image or, like, their hero image, they're like, "What is my favorite photo?"
Yes, yeah, exactly.
And it's like, "What is no, why are you choosing that?" It should align with who your ideal client is.
Yeah, exactly. And that goes with like pretty much all of the images
Yeah.
like on that first page is like what work do you want to book more of, and like what will align to your ideal clients. Oh, I guess also when I think about like a website refresh, there's like honest signs that are like really emotional where it like you kind of feel weird sending the link to your website. I felt that before too, where I'm like, oh my
Mm.
God, I don't want you to
I
look at
have
this.
one, but don't look at
Yeah,
it.
no, literally. I have felt that before, and, like, you avoid opening it, you've outgrown the version of who built it, you're attracting inquiries that don't match your current level, which is a really, really big one,
Mhm.
and if your website is aligned with who you used to be, it will keep attracting that level.
Mhm.
And I think that those are like the honest signs of like just like the emotional aspect of it. It's not really like, oh, I need to change these images, but it's like these are like the emotional sides of your website reflects your like self concept, basically,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel
And
like no one talks about that either.
yeah. And I feel like when most people think of a website refresh or, like, when they hear, "Refresh your portfolio, make sure it's up to date," I feel like they only think about the photos. But
Yes.
also, like, whenever I'm doing a refresh, it's because I've had, like, 2 or 3 months of, a busy season where I learned a lot, I changed a lot, I grew a lot, and so I'm not only changing the images and the galleries that I'm showing, but also, like, my copy, my messaging,
Yes.
because, like I said last week, the more experience you have, like, the more, like, narrow and specific your ideal client gets, and so once you get that clarity, you need to, like, make sure that your copy messaging reflects that too, so you should be refreshing your copy as well as your photos.
Yeah, which I have a whole section about copy because I feel like that's another thing a lot of people miss. So we'll get
Yeah.
into that. We'll
Cool,
get
cool,
into
cool.
that. And the energy shift, I wanted to talk about this too. It's like it's not just the aesthetic and branding of the website. It's basically your entire identity, and updating your website is often you claiming your next level publicly, which
Oh,
goes
yeah.
into that like like emotional side, and that's like super uncomfortable. So you have to like remove old work that you're attached to, which is hard. Which is hard
Yes.
because, like you were saying, like, that hero image, you want it to be, like, your favorite photo ever, but it's like, you don't even wanna attract those type of people, so, like, why would it be your main header image? I know it's beautiful, but that's not, like, what people are looking for.
Mhm.
Like, if you're showing an image, like, in the mountains and you want to do more ballroom work, it they're not gonna want that. They're gonna
Yeah,
be like, "Oh, this girl hikes." Like, I'm not a hiker. Like,
yeah.
I don't wanna do that. And so, you have to also remove or you have to speak more confidently about pricing and say who you're actually for. Let go of being for everyone.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing is let go of being for everyone. Because again, like, going back to, like, the Utah mountains and everything, like if you don't wanna do that, then you should just let that go. Like, it is a beautiful photo, but, like, if you don't wanna do that type of work, then don't do it, and it could be your ideal clients, but that should, like, go into the copy instead of, like, the hero image. Like, you should talk to your ideal clients in the copy instead of that photo, if
Mhm.
that makes sense. So that way, it's like, you still get your ideal clients, but maybe it's not, like, you hiking up a mountain to, like, get those types of clients. You can do whatever you want. And yeah, sometimes the reason we don't refresh our website is not laziness, it's fear of like owning where we are now. And your website should reflect where you're going, not where you've been.
Yes, and that is tea.
So true. I know. I mean, a lot of this, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I need to listen to this. And I've learned these things, but sometimes it is hard. You're like so attached to like certain images or certain things. And it's like, it's a lot of work, but it's just the work that you have to do,
Mhm. If
And
you
if you
wanna
want to,
grow.
yeah, if you want to grow, if you want to up level, like we need to stop attaching like our personal feelings into, like, if you really love that photo, print it out, put it in your office. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be on your website. Like, especially like wedding photographers, I feel like we take so many photos and it's like you get attached to like certain things, but if it doesn't match your ideal client, your brand anymore, like just let it go. It's
Mhm.
okay. It's okay to let it go. And sometimes, honestly, I do feel bad because I also take it personally, like in a way, like, oh my gosh, like these are my clients. Like, I don't want them to feel like any type of way that I'm not like showing their work anymore, or like that I'm not like loving their wedding specifically, I guess. But it's like, it's okay.
It's also not that deep,
Yeah,
like,
it's really not
they're
that
not
deep.
thinking about that like
Yeah.
we are,
Yeah,
and so
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, they're not like, "Oh my gosh, I hope I get on their website." I mean, maybe some people are, because I have heard stories, but yeah, don't let that, like, affect you at all. Like, if
Yeah.
someone really does come to you and like, "Why haven't you posted me?" Just be honest, like,
Yeah, that would be so weird if that
yeah, but it
happened.
happens. I
It
feel like I've
does.
seen some photographers post about that, but I feel like that's like 1
That's
in a
like a horror
million.
story,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's like 1 in a million. People really don't think about that. Honestly, this time and age, people don't even wanna be on the internet anymore.
Also, it's like you're allowed to be selfish with your own business and your own
Yes.
livelihood. Like, you
Yes.
don't have to post something just because you think other people want you to.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's good. So, what actually needs refreshing? Images. I think the first 10 images matter more than the last 50. And that's what I was talking about. Like, you don't need 400 images of the wedding that you really like in your blog. Like, you can pick like the top 20 and it still has it has a greater effect than having
Yes.
the entire gallery, which is so hard for me to learn too because I came up in an age where blogging was, like, a really big thing, and you would, like, blog pretty much the entire wedding from, like, start to finish, but now I'm, like, leaning more into, like, just curating and creating a vibe with the wedding gallery, and that's from me learning to curate even just, like, the client's wedding gallery itself and
Mhm.
not being, like, just posting all the good images just because it's a good image, and so I've been learning a lot about that, but again, I grew up or grew up. I I came into the industry when blogging was a really big thing, and it was just, like, from start to finish the wedding gallery, and it would be, like, 100 photos, but now I'm like, "We don't need to do that." Like, I wanna create a vibe of the images, and it doesn't even have to be in order, it just, like, needs to create something and tell a story, and yeah, so I've just been leaning more into, like, less image honestly, the less images, the better.
Well, also, like, the attention span of someone coming to your
Yeah,
website,
literally.
I promise you they're looking at the first 5 photos. So
Yeah.
even if you have, like, 30 photos, put the ones that you want them to remember at the top because they're more likely than not, the first time they look at your website, they're gonna be on there for, like, 5 seconds. Then
Yeah.
they might go talk to their partner and be like, "Let's look through their work," and that's when they would look through them, like, more intently, but the first impression is, like, so
Yes.
important.
Yeah, you need to create that vibe where like, "Oh, I wow, yes, let me keep looking." Like, you don't want
Yes.
them to be like, "Oh, click out."
Yeah.
Like, exit.
Yeah.
And you gotta ask yourself, like, "Are these the types of weddings I want more of?" Or, like, "Are these the types of sessions I want more of?" We talk a lot about weddings because that's basically all we do, but even if you're not in the wedding industry, like, do I want more of these types of sessions? And the answer is no, then don't post them.
Mhm.
I feel like I did that a lot when I was, like, booking proposals, and I'm like, "Wait, I actually hate proposals."
Yeah.
Like, I actually do not want to do these at all, and so that's one of my goals within the next few weeks is, like, deleting all my proposal content from my website because I'm still getting inquiries for it, and I'm like, "I actually really don't wanna do these."
Yeah, no, it
Like
makes so much
yeah,
sense.
because it's like I'm so attached to the photos because 'cause they're so good, but I'm like, "I don't even wanna do any of these." Like, I
Mhm.
really don't. And does your homepage hero image represent your current brand? And again, like, more images does not equal better. Curation is part of your authority and, like, what you do as an artist, and if your website feels crowded, it usually means you're not confident in what you want to highlight.
Yep.
Yep, yep, true words have never been said. And then galleries, you probably don't need 12 galleries and 400 images per gallery. You need tight storytelling, a clear vibe, and consistency, which is what I'm going to try to do going into the future. And overwhelm reduces clarity, and clarity increases trust. And we talked about it before, where it's like just because you get them more photos doesn't mean that they're gonna go with you just because you take more photos than, like, another photographer. And I guess it really just does depend on your ideal client, but our ideal clients aren't like, we want more photos, like,
Right.
per hour than the other photographer will give us. Okay, copy, this is where I think a lot of people miss things. Like, they wanna talk about themselves, they wanna be,
Yes.
like, cutesy, and I started photography in 2010, and I've been doing it for 20 years and blah, 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 blah. But you shouldn't do that. Because this isn't a LinkedIn, this isn't your Instagram bio, like, this isn't your dating profile. This is, like, where clients are trying to decide whether to go with you or someone else. And I think copy is where most photographers miss it, not just in the images, like, this is really where people, like, miss the mark on their website because we spend hours tweaking fonts, moving galleries around, choosing the images, but the words are what actually sells,
Mhm.
and a lot of people miss that. If your copy says things like, I focus on authentic storytelling or true to color edits, I love capturing candid moments, I'm passionate about documenting love stories, that's photographer language. Your client does not care about true to color edits. They care about, will I feel comfortable? Will I look good? Will you guide me? Will this be stressful? Will I regret this investment? And those are truly the questions that you should be asking yourself. And clients are buying safety, trust, emotional experience, and relief, not aperture settings and not what you do, what you don't do. Like, they really don't care about that stuff. And I'm not saying like you shouldn't put your like personality in your website or like you shouldn't talk about yourself at all, but you just have to switch it around to sell it to the client.
Yeah, it's like they have a problem and you're the solution, so your copy should be around their pain points,
Mhm.
not, like your personal story of how you became a photographer.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So go read your about page out loud. Does it sound like the version of you who was still figuring it out, the version of you who was undercharging, the version of you trying to prove you were legit? Or does it sound like someone who knows exactly what they're doing because your tone communicates confidence more than your portfolio does? If your copy feels hesitant, your pricing will feel hesitant, your positioning will feel hesitant, and your language carries authority. And so, does it answer these 4 things? Who is this for? Are we clear about your ideal client, or are you vague because you don't wanna exclude anyone? When you say, "For couples who value connection and presence over perfection," that filters. When you say, "I photograph all of love stories big and small," that's safe, clarity converts, vagueness is confusing.
Mhm.
And I think that's really, really telling where it's like when you say for couples who value connection and presence over perfection, that's telling them something. And when you say, I photograph all love stories, big or small, what is that
Well,
literally gives them nothing to
yeah.
visualize. They're like, okay, what else? Like it leaves like nothing to the imagination. And you're not really selling what you do because I do weddings that are big or small, but I'd never mention that. Like, I'm never like,
Yeah.
I love stories that are big or small. I'm like always talking about like how I'm like gently guiding the story and I'm also like kind of in the background in some moments and I'm intentional with this and I'm not intentional with this. And so it's like you just have to figure out how to word things like that. And I know it's really hard when you're first starting out because, like, I feel like all you want to do is like, I started weddings in 2010 and I love people and I love love. Like
Yeah.
it's like that's
It's
like
all
your
about
first,
you.
yeah, that's your first instinct is like just to talk about you, but you really got to sell it to your client. Like you're not selling it to your partner, like you're not selling it to yourself or other photographers. Like they don't really care about that stuff. Like they do, and they do care about you as a person, but it's also like, okay, but what can you do for me? Like
Right.
I understand that you're like you've been photographing for however long and you love love, but like what are you doing for me? Like how am I going to feel safe during the wedding day? Like am I going to be stressed about you just like not being where I want you to be at times or whatever it is? Like you got to focus on the client and less about you.
Yeah, and I feel like the first, statement that you had said that was, like, whatever. Can you read it again?
Yes, it's for couples who value connection and presence over perfection.
So if I'm a couple and I'm reading that, I'm either like, "Yes, that's me," or I'm like, "No, that's not me." And
Exactly.
I'm like, if that's me, that's what we're saying, like, speaking to your ideal client is, like, can they see themselves in not just your images, but also the words that you're saying?
Mhm.
Because if you say, "I love big love stories and small love stories," the person's like, "That I have no like, that's not relevant to me," like
Yeah, yeah, well, and it doesn't, like and they're not truly gonna say something like that. It's more so they're gonna be like it's vague, and so it's just kind of like, "Oh, okay." They're just gonna almost,
Right,
like, just skip over it, and then they're gonna go to a website where it speaks directly to them,
right.
and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I do connect with just wanting to be present. I don't want perfection. I don't want these, like, Vogue style photos, like, I'm gonna go with this photographer that's telling me, like, I'm gonna feel safe and I'm not gonna be pressured into like making perfect photos the day of. And I'm gonna go with them instead of the person that's just saying, like, I love love.
Right.
It was like, okay, well, I hope so. Like, you're a wedding photographer. I
Right.
really hope you love love. Like,
Yeah,
and so that's what we're trying to say. It's like less about you and more about them and like
yeah,
who you're trying to market to. Cause like this question, like, or this like saying, like, for couples who value connection and presence over perfection, that's not gonna be everyone's ideal client.
right,
And so, like, I probably wouldn't put that on mine because it's like, well, I do want perfect photos sometimes. Like,
right,
I do. Like, that's just who I am. So, my client is probably gonna be like, "Oh, well, I want both." And so they're gonna read that and be like, "Okay, next." Like, I don't
right.
want that. And for, like, Miranda's perfect client, that's probably what she would use to get a client like that. And so, if we were, like, fighting over a client, they would probably go with her instead of me because I do those, like, Vogue style-esque photos, and Miranda really just is there for the
Yeah,
presence and connection, you know?
yeah. So, like, for example, if your ideal client was someone who wants to be posed a lot, you want all the editorial poses, you want them to be published on a magazine, your copy would be like, "Do you wanna feel like a model on your wedding day?
Yes,
I got you."
exactly. Yeah.
That's, like, way different than saying, like, "I photograph love stories and
Yeah.
timeless photos,"
Yeah,
like,
it's like, okay.
you should get away from.
Specific.
Yeah. You need specific copy. Stay away from generic fluff that
Mhm.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, and it's just like I was saying earlier where it's like, are you doing this for other photographers, like, who understand that, or are you doing it for your ideal clients? And a
Mhm.
lot of the time, I feel like you start off with, like, wanting to do it for other photographers or just, like, you're kind of almost selfish with your copy, and it's like, "I love love, and I want to photograph your day," instead of just saying, like, "Oh, I wanna do this for you because of this reason,
Mhm.
and this is how you're gonna feel throughout the day or throughout the session or whatever it is." And we can ask yourself is like, what do you actually prioritize? Calm wedding mornings, emotional storytelling, effortless posing, editorial detail shots, family legacy. Like, like if someone reads your site, can they tell what matters to you? And that's the
Yes.
biggest thing. What matters to you during the day, because what matters to you will matter to them if that's your ideal client.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's so good, because your values attract aligned people, and it's so true. I feel like when you first start out, like, you're not thinking this type of stuff, so I hope this is, like, opening your eyes if you haven't thought about it before, because it took me a while to figure that out. Because I did start off, like, very selfish and was just like, "I love, and I'm gonna photograph your day." And not that that doesn't work, but you get to a level where it's just like, it's not gonna work,
Right.
especially when you're first starting out. Like, if you're first starting out and you just want a simple website, that's fine, but I think, like, learning all of these things will get you to the growth that you want and
Mhm.
to the level that you wanna be, and getting inquiries that are, like, super aligned, and you're not getting clients that you're like, "What the heck? Why did I sign up for this? Like, this isn't
Right.
what I want at all." So, what working with you feels like. This is huge, not what you do, what it feels like. Do you direct a lot? Give gentle guidance? Stay quiet and observant? Do you bring high energy? Bring do you bring calm, grounding energy? Clients want to know, who will you be in the room with me? Your website should make that obvious.
Mhm.
And so true. It's like we keep talking about these things because it's true. It's like, especially with an investment like a wedding, it's like they want to know what you're like. And they're not going to know until the day of. So you have to tell them what you're like. They can't read your mind.
Right.
Like, even if you have like BTS, that's a really good way to show it, just like in your social media marketing. But like on your website, if they don't know any of that, it's like, okay, well, I have no idea how you're going to be throughout the day. And that's not going to feel safe to them. And when they're looking at someone else's website where they're, like, reading all of this stuff of, like, what it feels like to work with another photographer, they're probably gonna go with the other one because they know exactly what the
What they're
day's gonna
gonna
look
get.
like.
They know
Mhm.
exactly what their money's gonna buy them.
Yeah.
I feel like all of this makes so much sense if you think about if you had nothing, only a website, if you didn't have Instagram, if you didn't have TikTok, if you didn't have word of mouth referrals, only a website, all of this information needs to be on there so that they understand.
Mhm.
Like you said, like, you could have BTS videos on Instagram, but what if someone never saw your Instagram and they're just looking
Yeah.
at your website? Like, they're not gonna know how you are.
Yeah.
So that's why you just have to be, like, point blank, "This is how I am." Like, spell it out for them like they're a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't need to be
Well,
elusive and poetic and,
yes,
like
I know, and I think we lose a lot of that, and I feel like that's fine when you're at a certain level where it's like, you don't have to do that. But, like, not a lot of us are at that point
No,
where
we're
we
not
can
at
just
that
be, like,
level.
elusive and poetic and, like, "Oh, you can only book me if," just, like, the poetic stuff where you wanna be like an artist that's, like, just, like, in the background, mysterious, but we're not there.
Yeah, that works when you already have a brand for
Like
yourself. You
a
already
really big brand
yeah,
that everyone knows,
yeah,
and even then, like, they had to work up to that point, so it's like,
exactly.
we gotta
They
do the
earned it.
groundwork.
We gotta earn it,
Yeah,
yeah.
we gotta do the groundwork here. So what happens next? This is where friction sneaks in. Is your call to action clear? Do you say, "Inquire here and I'll send you my pricing guide," or do you just have a button that says "Contact"? And then silence. If someone has to guess how much you cost, what the process is, what the next steps look like, they will hesitate, and hesitation kills conversion. And
Mhm.
that's when they're just like, I don't wanna do this. Like, they'll honestly get bored and just, like, exit off the site. Like, if you don't have, like, a clear process and pricing, and I know that's a little controversial. Some people say, "Put your pricing on your website." Some people say, "Don't." But whatever you do, like, you need to lay out the process so they know exactly what they're getting.
Yeah.
So, and your copy should remove friction. Like, every sentence should reduce uncertainty. Good copy answers questions before they're asked. It reassures, it guides, and makes the decision feel easy. When someone lands on your website, they're already interested. Your job isn't to impress them, it's to make them feel safe enough to move forward. And safety comes from clarity. So that's why it's like copy is so important for you to get that inquiry. And I think a lot of us miss that step. Like, we're too worried about, like, are we posting enough on Instagram? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? Sometimes it's your website that's killing the vibe.
Yes.
It
Yes.
really is. So sometimes we avoid updating our copy because it forces us to be clear, and clear about who we want, what we charge, what we don't tolerate, what level we operate at, and clarity feels vulnerable. But growth in business almost always looks like less fluff,
Mhm.
fewer words, stronger statements. Your copy isn't decoration, it's positioning, and positioning determines who books you,
Mhm.
which, hello, that's all we've been talking about, is like how we can convert these people and why copy is such a big thing. It's because it sells. Like, you wanna sell, you gotta have some good copy.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of people miss that step where it's like, we're photographers, we want our work to speak for itself, but we're not just artists, we're business owners, we're service providers. If you just wanted to be a photographer, then that's fine. But like if you want to be a service provider and a business, you need to have copy.
Yes.
It's not just
Yes.
like photos will speak for themselves. That's not the day and age that we're in right now. Like there's so many photographers, there's so many people on Instagram and all over the place. So like you have to stand out and this is how you stand out. And that's by being clear about who you want to work with, who you are, and what you want to do on a wedding day, in a session, or whatever it is. That's how you're gonna stand out. And people make standing out be like, "Oh, well, I don't do that much different than the other photographer." Yeah, you don't have to. Like, not a like, honestly, like, we've worked with so many photographers where, like, we do the same thing.
Yes, but what's different is who you are, your
Yeah.
personality.
And when you're clear on your website, instead of just being vague about like, I love love, no, you're being clear about like how your process works, how you're going to be on a wedding day. Like you're in these rooms that are so intimate when you're in weddings, like the getting ready room, the family dynamics. Like they want to know that you can work through that. And if you don't tell them, they don't want to work with you. Like
Yeah.
they're not going to feel safe inquiring with you. And I think, yeah, a lot of people miss that step. So it's not really about like, how do I stand out more? It's like, how can I be more clear about who
Mhm.
I am? Because I think that's a lot of people's fear. It's like, how do I stand out? I do the exact same thing everyone else does, but not everyone is clear about who they're working for, or like who they want to work with, or who they are as a
And
photographer.
honestly, that takes a lot of, like, introspection, and it is hard work to come up with copy that
Mhm.
is everything that you're saying. And so that's why, it could just be easy to just, like, write generic stuff on there,
Yeah.
hope that your images speak for themselves, and then the right client will find you, but that's not how it works, and the longer that you wait to work on your copy, the less inquiries you're gonna get, like,
Yeah, yeah, and the more frustrated you're gonna
the more
get, because
frustrating.
it's like that'll work for a certain level, and it might work right now where it's like, "Well, I don't even have copy on my website, and I'm getting inquiries." Well, that's good for you, but if you wanna grow, I think this is, like, the best step to growing and, like, charging more and working
Yes.
with clients that you're really, like, aligned with. So, yeah, you just gotta do it.
Yeah. It's just part of the
Um,
job.
yeah,
You
exactly.
can't escape it. You really can't.
Mhm, mhm. And I guess we can talk about pages. This is something I think a lot of people go wrong too, where it's like all about them. I think the about page converts way more than photographers realize because after someone likes your work, they click the about page. And that click is really important. That's the moment they're asking, okay, but who are you? Not what lenses do you use? Or not how many weddings have you shot? They're asking, will I feel comfortable around you? Do I trust you? Do I see myself in you? And do I feel understood?
Mhm.
And you're basically telling a story and they turn like usually about me pages turn more into resumes where it's like I started photography in 2017. I love coffee and my dog. I've been featured in blah 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 blah. And none of that is like bad, but it's just not connection. And that's what it's missing. A strong about me page tells a story about why you care about this work, really important, what shaped your perspective, what you believe about weddings or sessions or whatever you're doing, and what you believe about people. Because story builds reliability, reliability builds trust, and trust builds bookings. And so that connection, I feel like is lost a lot of the time where it's like, yeah, you're talking about like how you love vintage and thrifting and blah blah blah, but like well, okay, well, what got you into photography? Like, how do you see the world? How are you going to photograph my wedding, my session in a way that aligns with me? And
Yeah.
that's like the biggest part people miss. And again, it's like your about me page is about you, but it should be less about like I. It should be like, this is what I will do for you. And this is why I'm doing the things
Yeah.
that I do. Instead of just being like, I did this, and blah, blah, blah. I've been featured in this, which isn't bad, but yeah, I think you gotta be more about the connection between you and the client.
I think I saw the most growth in my business when I changed my about page to being like an about me.
Yes.
And then I changed it to being about my client. And like once you
Yes.
make that change, like, yeah, I saw so much more growth because again, it's like you're talking directly to them. You're like disguising your copy as like, oh, this is about me, but it's not
Yes.
really about you. It's
Yeah.
about how you are going to serve them.
Yes. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And that's a really, really big change when once you realize it, you're like, oh, yeah, like, duh. Like, why was I not doing that before? Because I did that too, where it was
Yeah.
just like, I did this and I did this, and here's why you should love me. But it's like, okay, but what do you do for me? Like,
Right.
What problems are you solving for me? Because I don't care when you started. Like, I don't care if you started a year ago. If I like your work, I like your work, and we connect, we'll connect. And so I think that was a big shift in my photography too. People book people they feel aligned with. This is why two photographers with the same price point can have very different booking rates. One feels clear, grounded, self-aware, specific. The others feel generic, safe, still slightly trying to impress. So your about page is where someone decides, do I feel safe here? Not like safe as in physical, but safe as in I won't be judged. I won't feel awkward. I won't feel like I have to perform, and I won't regret this.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest one.
That's
where
the
it's like,
biggest safety is like,
will I regret
yeah.
this? Like, oh no. Like, especially with like weddings, that's like such a big decision. Like, maybe like a family session or a senior session is kind of like, okay, I get what I get, and maybe I can redo it if that happens. But like for weddings, it's like you really have to put that out in the line where it's just like, here's how I work, here's what's gonna happen on your day. And if you're just generic, they're not gonna know what it's like, and they're not gonna want to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars with you. And that's why some people can book more than others because of this simple switch.
Because that's risky. It's risky to put all of your money into something that's so generic.
Yeah.
That you're like, well, I hope it's what I want.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Especially if you've never like if this isn't coming from like word of mouth, or they're just kind of like looking for photographers online, like don't be generic.
Yeah.
it will not work out. And it's not about making yourself impressive, it's about making yourself understandable. If someone reads your about page and thinks, I get her, I feel like she gets me, that's the win. Not, oh, she has 10 awards. Like, oh, okay, that doesn't matter for my wedding.
Right.
Like that's the win. And the reframe is your about page is not a resume, it's not LinkedIn, it's not a highlight reel, it's a bridge between your work and the person hiring. And if that bridge feels personal, grounding, and intentional, that's when it converts. So that's all I had about copy. I think that's like honestly the biggest thing about websites is the copy. Images next, but I think the copy is really what I think a big shift will come. Well, I don't even know what I'm saying now.
Well, without copy, it's basically an Instagram.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's like what
Why have
makes
the
your
website?
why have the website? What makes it different than your Instagram? It needs to have all the information that you're not sharing on Instagram.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And the bigger thing that I wanted to talk about too is like this season of my life feels like less proving and more preparing. And so preparing my website for like the kind of clients I want, the pace I want, the income level I want, the brand I'm building long term. Updating your website is less about the design and more about deciding who you are right now. And I think that's like what I'm really leaning into this year too, is just like curation and being prepared and just like, yeah, being ready so I don't have to get ready.
Yes.
Like it's like if you haven't updated your website and you're like feeling weird about it, and then the next day you meet a planner and she asks for your website and you're like, don't
that's
look
on
at
my
it."
to-do list, but I haven't got there yet.
Exactly. And that's what we mean about like being ready. Like if you just update it now and the next time you meet a planner, you meet a client, you're like, here's my website. Like, and you feel confident about it. And that's the biggest thing. The biggest key, honestly, is just feeling so confident about what you're putting out there so that you're ready and that luck will come to you. And you'll get the inquiries that you want, you get the clients that you want, and everything will feel aligned if you just do the work, which we all needed to hear. I mean, even me, like I have to like really always like look back at like what I'm teaching and also just like what I'm saying and be like, okay, yeah, I need to put that into practice too.
Mhm.
So we always need like a little refresher, a little, yeah, just a little refresh on our websites and in life.
Yeah, that's why I do it so often, because
Yeah.
it's like, "Oh, wait a second. Does that really align with what I'm thinking and feeling right now?
Mhm.
Odds are it's changed, so I need to go
Yes,
change
change it
it."
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, like we said, we're always evolving, we're always growing. We're never like trying to stay stagnant. So this is how we're gonna create abundance and create safety and the income level that we want and just the kind of clients we want to work with and everything. So yeah, it's really important.
It is
You wouldn't
really.
think that websites are so emotional and deep, but they kind of are.
It's literally, like, the backbone of your
It really
business.
is. And I don't think a lot of people care about it enough, but I think you should.
Well, yeah, 'cause I feel like it's, like, the biggest conversion tool that we have,
Mhm.
and it's also, like, yours, like, you own it.
Yes,
So it's like
exactly.
if Instagram went away tomorrow and you don't have a website, then it's like, okay,
You don't have
you
anything.
don't have anything.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, that was so good. Well, thanks for listening to another episode. I hope you guys got a little something about, something in this episode.
I hope you felt inspired to go
Yeah.
refresh your website if you
Yes,
haven't yet.
exactly. Exactly. I'm getting to the point where I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. So I think we might have to end this now. But no, seriously, thanks again for listening to us. And hopefully we'll see you next week as well. All right, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.